Have you ever heard of the horizon walker? Some say it's just a legend, a tale told to restless children to keep them close to home. But I've seen it. I've walked the path, felt the pull of the horizon, and paid the price. This isn't just a story. It's a warning. A crackling fire illuminates the surface, shadows dancing as they lean forward. The horizon, always so distant, always out of reach. But in our village, they said if you followed it far enough, you'd find something extraordinary. Treasure, power, truth. But no one told me about the cost. No one warned me about what the journey would take. The sound of a sharp wind blows, extinguishing the fire. Darkness overtakes the view. A vibrant African village at dawn, with bustling markets, bright colors, and a backdrop of an endless savanna. I was just a boy when I first heard the call. I remember waking before the sun, the air crisp and full of promise. My father stood at the edge of the village, staring out at the horizon. His silhouette against the rising sun is burned into my memory. He told me, "The horizon is a gift for the brave. But beware, son, for it does not forgive." I didn't understand then. All I knew was that I wanted to see what lay beyond. I was packing a satchel, a small knife, a water skin, and a woven cloth for shade. I stepped onto the dusty path leading out of the village. I wasn't the only one curious. A small group of us, young and foolish, decided we'd chase the horizon together. We laughed as we walked, dreaming of riches and glory. But the further we went, the quieter the world became. Our laughter fading into silence, replaced by the distant cry of a bird. Ran low. The sun beat down on us, relentless and uncaring. Our heavy footsteps on dry grass, the faint buzz of insects. One by one, our group began to change. At first, it was small things, tired complaints, snapping at one another. But then the whispers began. I thought it was just the wind, but the others heard it too. Voices, calling our names. Faint, overlapping whispers growing louder, then stopping abruptly. We should have turned back. But pride is a dangerous thing. So, we pressed on. A dense, eerie forest appears on the horizon, its edges shrouded in mist. The savanna gave way to a forest, cool and inviting. But something about it felt wrong. The air was too still, the shadows too deep. We told ourselves it was a shortcut, a way to find the horizon faster. The crunch of leaves underfoot, the creak of branches. That's when we started losing people. First, it was Ojo. One moment he was behind us, the next, gone. No sound, no sign of struggle. Just vanished. A sharp crack, followed by silence. There was an empty trail where someone once stood. We searched, calling his name, but the whispers returned, louder this time, almost laughing. The forest wasn't a shortcut. It was a trap. The forest opens into a barren desert, with the horizon now impossibly close. The sky is unnaturally red, and the air shimmers with heat. When we emerged from the forest, the horizon was finally within reach. But it wasn't what we expected. The land was cracked and dry, the sky burning red. There was no treasure here, no answers, only a strange figure waiting for us. A low hum, rising in intensity. The figure was cloaked in shadow, its face hidden. It spoke without moving its lips, its voice echoing in our minds. You have chased the horizon. But what will you give to hold it? We all exchange fearful glances as the figure extends a hand, revealing a small, glowing object, a piece of the horizon itself. We didn't know what to say. But one of us stepped forward. He reached for the glow, and screamed. A piercing scream, followed by a deafening silence. I, alone, walk back through the savannah, and the sky is now dark and stormy. By the time I realized what the cause truly was, it was too late. The others, they are gone now. Taken, claimed, or perhaps, chosen. I don't know. But I couldn't stay. The horizon no longer called to me, it pushed me away, back toward the world I had left. The faint echoes of the figure's voice, saying, "You are not ready." When I returned to the village, no one recognized me. I had been gone for years, though to me, it felt like weeks. My father's words haunted me, "The horizon does not forgive." Let me take you back to how it all started, about the journey of the first horizon walker. The origin of the legend, the curse and the whispers. Before I walked the path, before anyone dared to chase the horizon, there was one who first heard the call. His name is no longer spoken in the village, and his face is erased from memory. But his story echoes in every shadow, every gust of wind that sweeps the savannah. He was the first horizon walker. And he is the reason no one dares to follow anymore. A dark, ominous savannah under a moonlit sky, the horizon shimmering faintly in the distance. A lone figure walks slowly toward it, his shadow stretching unnaturally long. This is his story, a tale of ambition, defiance, and a curse that would haunt the land forever. A bustling African village under a blazing sun, children playing, elders weaving stories, and traders exchanging goods. In the distance, a young man stands alone, staring at the horizon. His name was Olisa, a dreamer among doers. While the others worked the fields and honored tradition, Olisa sought something more. The horizon fascinated him, the way it seemed to shimmer, calling silently. And one night, it called louder than ever before. Soft, melodic chanting, slowly giving way to whispers. Olisa waking suddenly, drenched in sweat. The vision was vivid, a great light bursting from the horizon, illuminating treasures and truths hidden from mankind. But it came with a warning, a voice in the darkness that whispered, "To find it, you must lose yourself." Olisa sits by a fire, staring at the horizon, the flames flickering in his wide, determined eyes. Olisa couldn't resist. The whispers planted a seed in his heart, and that seed grew into obsession. Olisa walking through the village at dawn, carrying a satchel and a carved staff. Villagers glanced at him with concern, shaking their heads. The elders warned him. They told him the horizon was not meant to be reached, that it would only lead to ruin. But Olisa was young, strong-willed, and blind to fear. He believed he could conquer what others could not. Distant bird calls, soft wind rustling through grass. He left without saying goodbye, his eyes fixed on the shimmering line where the earth met the sky. It wasn't long before the village whispered his name in hushed tones, already mourning him as if he were dead. Olisa walks across an endless savannah, the sky shifting from blue to fiery orange as the day fades. The horizon glows faintly. The journey began as a challenge, a test of his strength. But the horizon, it was clever. It stretched further with every step, luring him deeper into the unknown. A vast desert under the full moon, sand dunes glowing faintly in the moonlight. Olisa stumbles forward, his shadow flickering unnaturally. Days turned into weeks. The food in his satchel was gone, and the water skin ran dry. But the whispers grew louder. They promised him relief, power, and truth. And Olisa believed them. The desert wasn't just a place. It was alive. The dunes shifted, the stars above seemed to change positions, and Olisa swore he could see figures moving just out of sight. Shadows danced in the corner of his vision, but when he turned, nothing was there. A dark silhouette stands on the horizon, unmoving, as Olisa approaches cautiously. The closer he gets, the more it seems to fade into mist. He wasn't alone anymore. Or maybe he never was. But the presence he felt wasn't comforting, it was hungry. Olisa stands before a massive stone altar in the desert, glowing symbols carved into its surface. The horizon behind it is unnaturally bright, pulsing with light. At last, he reached it, a place no human had ever seen. The horizon no longer fled from him, it invited him closer. The altar stood as a gateway, a passage to the truth he sought. But the whispers changed. They no longer promised, they demanded. Low, resonant hums, like the droning of 1,000 voices. Give, they said. Give what you hold most dear. Okani's heart raced. He thought it would ask for his possessions, his strength, or his loyalty. But the altar wanted more, it wanted his soul. Olisa hesitates, his hand hovering over the glowing altar. His face is a mix of fear and defiance. He should have turned back. He should have walked away. But Olisa was too far gone. He touched the altar, and everything changed. A deafening crack of thunder, followed by silence. The savannah at dawn, eerily quiet. A lone figure walks toward the village, his shadow stretching unnaturally. When Olisa returned, he was not the same. His eyes glowed faintly, and his words were sharp and cryptic. He spoke of truths too vast to understand, of a power that would destroy anyone who dared to chase it. But he didn't come back alone. Faint whispers growing louder, overlapping, then cutting off suddenly. The horizon had marked him. It followed him back to the village, and with it came a curse. Crops withered. Children fell ill. And the whispers, they began calling new names. Villagers gather around the fire, staring at Olisa with fear as he stands on the edge of the light, his face half hidden in shadow. The elders banished him, but it was too late. The horizon's grip had taken hold, and it would never let go. And so, the legend of the Horizon Walker was born, a warning to all who dared to chase what could never be caught. The horizon, shimmering faintly under a twilight sky. A faint figure walks towards it, disappearing into the glow. They say the horizon still calls to those who listen. It offers truth, power, and answers to the bold. But remember the name Olisa. Remember what he gave, and what he lost. Because once you begin chasing the horizon, it may never let you stop. Whispers fade into silence, leaving only the sound of the wind. To chase the horizon is to lose yourself, forever. Hope you enjoyed the story. Make sure to subscribe for more thrilling and captivating stories.